Zibami ngazibini kuwe mazothi Mzansi ihlala phansi nonwabele lenkqubo emnandi esiniphathele yona kule nyanga yomama. Sikachitha ngaxesha masinazise kundwendwe lethu lanamhlanje. She is a 9-time Summer Award winner and she has also represented Mzansi internationally at this year's BET Awards. Lira is here today to tell us about her career path, her spirituality and future plans. Sisi, so great to have you.
Thank you. It's very good to be here. Thank you.
Before we get to all the juicy stuff, how was your upbringing?
Wonderful. I was raised by my grandmother until I was about 11. Then I moved in with my mom at Davidton, and it was wonderful. My parents were extremely strict. I had a very structured life. I used to earn 10 cents for every errand that I did correctly. I had a schedule. My life was completely scheduled. I was given an hour of TV a day and I could break it up however I wanted. My curfew was 6 p.m. until I was in matric.
Now you've evolved over the years as an artist. You're now a record label owner as well as a production company owner.
My career has just gotten to a point where I was ready to, take my career into my own hands. So with Ultra Music, as I move forward now, I can now release material here and in the United States. Our first production or release of Ultra Music and Errol Films, which is the film production company, is the Captured Tour, which is my second DVD that's currently in stores countrywide.
I've caught a sneak preview. It is gorgeous.
Thank you. And that was like half an hour. It's a 163-minute production. It's Africa's first concert film, which means it's got a documentary element into it. And it really explores the relationship between me and my fans in the backdrop of just this amazing music and how people connect with the music and how I connect with them as my fans. So I just think we've captured something really beautiful and it's very reflective. So I'm very excited about it. I'm busy doing a tour, just promoting it around the country, but it is available in stores.
So with everything that's going on in your life, what I love the most is that you also have time to give back with your charity work. I want you to tell us about the charities that you're involved in, and more especially the student sponsorship program.
Very exciting that. I was actually invited to they have a fundraising event every year, and I was invited and also awarded the most inspiring musician to young people, and I was extremely touched. I'd never heard of the student sponsorship program, but it engages with corporate South African successful business people. They come together and give opportunities to very smart young people, but they mentor them throughout their lives. So they'll give you a great education from literally when you start out up until we've got students at Harvard, literally all over the world, and private schools all over the world. So it's really a charity that focuses on building leaders, future leaders, African leaders that will come back and impact. How you pay back is that you pay it forward.
Okay,
you also contribute, right? So for me, it's a sustainable way of making a change again.
Okay, so from the local stage to the international stage, girl, with BET Awards nominations coming your way, did you ever fathom that you'd get this far in your life? And who do you credit your success to? I
always had the intention to become an international artist. I did not see the BETs coming. You think Grammys, you think on that level. I did not see it coming. Firstly, because historically, they've always given the nominations to hip-hop acts.
Yes.
So this was the first time that they went with a soul artist and a female soul artist. So I was in the company of great hip-hop acts, but I felt special. I felt like something new had been achieved here, so I was very excited. And in terms of what I would say, I don't know. I think I suppose I would say I always began with an end in mind.
Okay.
I always knew what the ultimate looks like. I don't have it in full grasp yet.
Okay.
But that's what's kept me going all these years. There's a bigger plan to all of this.
This bigger plan, is it linked to your spirituality? Is it linked to, your sense of maybe your connection to a higher being?
That's probably where my journey started making sense. I remember being 22, going through just now starting to engage with life as an adult, now being a working individual and just thinking this is how my life will pan out. And I didn't like the thought of just going to work, getting my salary, coming back. It was this routine. I was like, oh my word, there has to be a lot more to this. And that's when I started asking the big questions. What am I here to do? Like, who am I really? Surely there must be a reason why I even exist, why I have talents, why I have certain urges. My biggest urge was to get into the music industry. And when I asked all of these questions, that's when I feel I connected with my spirituality, my sense of self, my uniqueness. So suddenly it meant that everything I am is specifically designed to fill a very unique space called Lira. So nobody can beat me at being me, and my responsibility is to be all that I can be. And that's my motivation ultimately.
I love it. As if your life was not full enough with activities and responsibilities, then you go and are featured in a film.
That I did not see coming. That caught me by surprise. The director spotted me in a in-flight magazine. And he'd been coming in and out of this country. His name is Antonio Falduto, Italian director. And he's auditioning people. He's just not finding the right person. He spots me in the magazine. He calls these people and he says, find me this girl. It took 8 months for us to be in the same country at the same time, because I was also moving around. And he says to me, so can you act? I was like, I don't know, let's find out. And so I had to audition like everyone else, but when I read the script, I fell in love with the character, and that's what made all the difference to me. It was a beautiful, meaty role, you know, it was proper. It had nothing to do with my singing career. I just had an opportunity to embody another person's life. So
what's the name of this movie, and can you give us, a sneak,
Oh, I can.
Into what's about?
It's called The Italian Consul. It touches on human trafficking, but it's actually a human drama between these two women that come from totally different worlds, but they're drawn together by this difficult circumstance, but also we have a common love interest. But we come from totally different worlds, and so obviously the dynamics of just egos and vulnerability. And in the beginning, she's actually the lead actor, I'm the co-lead. Her name is Giuliana Desio, quite famous in Italy. And so her family, her character in the beginning is very strong, and she almost dominates me. And then it goes to a point where these women somehow intertwine. We find a common space, and my character grows in strength. So it was just beautiful in terms of its evolution. And so I was excited to do it. And this was in 2012, and I've actually just come back from Italy to do our theater premiere of the movie. We went to Rome, Florence and Naples. Unfortunately, I had to come back to South Africa while they did the rest of the tour.
Girl, you need a reality show. There's so much happening in your life.
It's insane.
Okay, so those young people that are watching you today, aspiring to be like Lira, coming from very tough backgrounds, what would you say to them today?
Firstly, beginning with an end in mind. I've already done Lira. You have to be you firstly. We are just there to give you some sort of a blueprint, just to maybe even set your measure of success. But you have to have a vision for yourself. You have to have a purpose that you will give to yourself. If you know where you're going, then it'll direct the kind of opportunities that you take up. And talent is just potential. It's potential. You have to hone it. You have to work on it, refine it, grow it, expand it, master it to the best that it can be. That way you have an opportunity now to stand amongst the world's greatest, but you have to hone it. It'll never be enough, and you've got to be willing to do the work. It's your talent, it's your gift, it's your responsibility.
Lira, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and all the best with your career. May everything that you touch continue to turn into gold, girl.
Thank you.
Ixesha loba sititse emarkeni kodwa hlala nathi kuba xa sibuya siye eKapa apho bese sachitha ixesha nemibutho ejolise ekuxhobiseni omama naxa sivala inkqubo yethu namhlanje umculo omnandi kaCamagwini. Ungayindawo.